to show you how to mount the GPS to the top plate and how to assemble the APM and mount it onto the pads in the frame. We're going to start with the GPS. And basically, in the packet, you're going to have the main GPS. You're going to have a little carbon rod, and you're going to have this packet here. The carbon rod we don't need. We only really need this part. You're going to need as well a screw with a flat head. This is a M4. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill through here, drill through and mount this screw in there. Right, so basically what I've done is I've drilled through there and I've countersunk that so that when this screws in it fits flush with this metal plate here, and that is then going to go through on the top here through this hole in the center, through there like that, and we're going to put a bolt on the bottom to secure it in, again with a bit of Loctite. Okay, I've just tightened that up by hand at the minute, but you're going to want to tighten that up really tight, and you're going to want to cut this off here. Be very careful when cutting this off that you don't come in contact with this board here. Right, so now I've got that mounted on there. What you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to remove this sticky back from this double-sided tape that's on here, and you're going to want to stick the GPS on with the arrow. If you look on it, the arrow needs to point forward, so it needs to go like that. You need to make sure you get it centered as well on there and stick it on straight. And once you've got it mounted on there, it should look something like this. It's really on there, it's really strong. You've got a little bit of distance to get rid of the interference. Basically you're going to put these wires just through the bottom there, through this hole, and we'll connect them in a minute. The next stage is the APM, or Hobby King pilot, the HK pilot. Basically you get the connections for the receiver, move that out of the way, you get the box, the case, the pilot itself, and these foam pads. Basically we're going to mount the APM into its case, but before we do that, on this board there is a pressure sensor, and that is sensitive to light and wind. It's just there. Don't know if you can see that on the video. And when that sits in the case like that, we need to put a bit of foam over it in the center there, in this section here, so that it's to reduce the draft and reduce the light effect of the pressure sensor. And basically what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the same foam that we use for the battery, which is from the gimbal casing. Right, this is the foam from the gimbal, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut a piece out of it, just roughly for now, and then on the ArduPilot itself I'm going to make it so that it fits nicely in this section here to protect the pressure sensor. Just like that, that's how it should fit. And then that is going to go on there like that. It's going to apply a slight bit of pressure to the board. Right, so now I've got that closed up. You're going to want to tighten up the screws on the back. Don't tighten them up too tight, because they you can over tighten them and they will lose their grip. Don't forget to put the reset button in as well. That's included in the little bag. You need to put that in as well. Okay, and that's it for that. Next is to install these foam pads onto the pads in here. If I move these wires out of the way, you'll be able to see that in there are 4 little arms, and these arms are also there to reduce vibrations because they're only held on through this little 5mm tab. Basically, if we cut 2 of these in half and put them on there, you might need to trim them so that they fit exactly, and that's how the APM is going to be mounted, through these. I'm going to cut them to size and fit them on there, and then I'll show you how it looks before I actually fit the APM itself. Right, so now I've got these foam pads installed. Basically I have to cut them down to size. You have to cut them lengthways and in the width as well. And then the APM is going to sit in there just like that, with the USB connection facing the back. You need to be quite precise getting this edge here parallel to this the back plate of the battery. And that's how it should look when it's finished. It's in there, and it's got a slight bit of movement to it, but not too much. And that bit of movement is enough to get rid of the vibrations from the propellers.